psychological priming. You've probably already heard about priming and you might know what it is, but how does it impact marketing psychology? Well, in a nutshell, psychological priming is all about using a stimulus to affect a later stimulus. Now, that might be confusing and, what the heck does that mean? What the heck does that have to do with writing effective ad copy in psychology? Well, the best way to think of priming is the process of planting a seed for later action. This is a good analogy. In the most famous experiments involving priming psychologists, they found that people were faster to recognize words when the words were similar or related words were given first. So you really have to think about it as planting a seed in people's minds. That's priming. We're priming people ready for the sale. So this test lot, they were confused when they were given random words. But when they were given material to prime them, to give them familiar words first, then they recognize these words really quickly. So priming taps into our memories, our sensory perception, and allows your brain to group things together. Now, again, how does this relate to marketing or ad copy? For you, there's two ways you can use priming to your advantage. And the first way is by priming readers with conditions or situations. So suppose you're selling sunscreen. Nothing special, just an ordinary bottle of sunscreen. Let's prime the customer when they see the ad. How are we going to do this? Well, if I'm reading the ad in New York during winter when it's raining every single day, it might be snowing, well, it probably won't apply to me, right? It won't even appeal to me. It won't apply to me in general. Well, what if I was using this sunny day as a background image? What if I introduced my ad with right now in LA, where old mate Bobby is getting burnt to a crisp? Well, then sunscreen's suddenly going to become very applicable to me. Even mentioning this sunny place helps prime the reader to receive my message. With the use of a sunny image and the words Los Angeles, well, you've already helped them picture a situation where they would need sunscreen. Sure, you might not be Bobby, but in the right situation or with granular Facebook targeting, you could well be Bobby craving sunscreen. So you can prime readers for your ads by using what's called homophone priming as well, and this is the second technique. Now, be prepared to be amazed because homophone priming is one of the all-time weirdest psychological techniques. But before you can use it on your own e-commerce site, you have to kind of know what it is, right? And like I said, this is wacky stuff, but extremely interesting, and you'd be surprised that this sort of stuff works. So homophone priming, homophone is the words that sound the same but are spelt differently. We run across them every day and even see cute puns that make use of them. Some examples right here are right and right, you and you, there and there, by and by. So you can think of it as puns, but they're not exactly puns because we're not going to use it as a pun. Homophones is literally this. It's the official word for a pun, but you can use it in a psychological way. And this is where homophone priming comes in. It's related, to stimulus priming, but you're actually using the sounds of words to set up the reader for action. Let's use our sunscreen example. If I have a call to action that says buy now, I can actually use homophone priming earlier on by saying a phrase like bye rainy days. It's so crazy, it's wacky, but it works. Buy, as in goodbye, sounds the same as buy now. So you actually influence the reader without them knowing it. And this is the pinnacle and the crux of psychological marketing. It's about influencing the reader without them knowing it. The key to priming here is to think of both the initial stimulus and the ultimate action you want them to take. Now, is priming guaranteed to work? Of course not. It's a gentle suggestion, not a forceful push like a full-on discount like pricing psychology. But if you use it too much, it can actually disrupt your ad copy flow. So priming is one psychological trigger that I personally use whenever applicable, but I reserve it for when it's appropriate. That's the key. So as you can see here, bye rainy days, rainy days. It's you've got to put some thought into it. You do need to sit down and think about it and where you can use this. But if you use this psychological technique here and there, you will see a conversion difference, a click-through rate difference, even a cost per click difference in your Facebook ads. So I urge you to sit down and think about how homophone priming and also priming works for your ads and your products. So now that you understand how it all works, you're basically ready to give homophone priming a try. And like I said, consider adding the words even, and here's a pro tip actually, use the words goodbye, okay, at the end of your thank you email or your checkout page. This will help reinforce the idea that the buyer made a good choice or a good buy. Do you get it there? A good buy. So the words goodbye, as in literally like see you later, goodbye, that reinforces people because it sounds like a good buy, like a good purchase. It's crazy. So adding that to your checkout page will actually do you wonders.